Hi, everyone. Hi on Facebook and on Instagram. So I'm talking to both my Facebook followers as well as my Instagram followers. So welcome and happy Monday. It is so great to be with you. I love being with you here every Monday where we share information and tips and tricks about just being better on social media. So if you're there, please say hello. Okay, of course, on Instagram, all the fans are coming on. So hello. I think it's Wiggy Yogi. I hope I got that correct. And I love being CP, and I hope I got that correct as well. So welcome. If you're on Facebook, please join us. We have this amazing topic that we're going to be talking about, which is how to create wonderful, compelling content for your social streams, content that really connects. But before I get started, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Judette, and along with my incredibly talented team, I create content for a blog called Forward 40, and our mission is to help women grow more successful and beautiful as they age, as well as, again, with my ultra fabulous team, I help brands succeed in the digital space by creating compelling content for their social streams. So it's really wonderful that you all can join me. Instagram, hello everybody, thank you so much for joining in. So before I get started on how to create compelling content, I had the most incredible time reading all of your letters and, well, emails really, your emails, and actually some direct face-to-face offline interaction that made my week. And I wanted to give a holler to Natasha Peer. Natasha wrote me, she was on Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about how to make your Facebook page sexy again. And she wrote me and she said, your program is just blossoming. Thank you so much, Natasha. I have put to use the tips you've shared on making Facebook sexy again, and it works. So I'm so glad, because I want you to let me know, how did it work? Don't forget to leave it in the comment box below so other people can learn from how you're succeeding in the digital space. Another warm hello to Leslie Ann Jordan Miller. So if you're watching us, Leslie Ann, you sent me a direct Facebook message and you said, hi Judette, I love your passion. Thank you. I am trying to learn as much from you as I try to launch out with my own business idea. Leslie Ann, I absolutely know how hard that can be when you have this big dream and you want to bring it to the world and you want to bring it to life. So stick around. Every Monday we're going to have lots of information, particularly on how to succeed in the digital space. And of course, one of my favorites, Lindy Ann, I always pronounce that incorrectly. And she is from Fit Appeal TT, and if you don't know her, go over to her Facebook page and to her Instagram account. She has or offers or sells the most incredible sportswear and fitness wear that fits your body so comfortably and so wonderfully, and of course very sexy as well if you're into that kind of garb. And she was in the gym, of course, and I met her and she said to me, it was like her aha moment, her light bulb moment. And she said, Judette, I'm spending a lot of time on Instagram, but my audience is really on Facebook. So that's actually called channel analysis, where you sit down and you look at all your social channels and you figure out what's working, what's not, where should you devote your time. And for Lindy Ann, she really figured out that she has to spend more time on Facebook, and she's doing a digital detox, not posting for posting's sake, until she kind of re-strategizes exactly where her attention is going towards. And my special love to someone who I met face to face, her name is Ray. Yeah, her name is Ray, and I was at Diane's Tea Shop in Trinidad, and I know I have followers from all over. And I was at Diane's Tea Shop for brunch on Sunday, and she was actually at a table next to me. didn't know who she was. She came up and she said hello, and we chatted a great deal about how Forward 40 and the content that we produce week after week is encouraging her to live a more inspired life. So thank you. It was great meeting you, Ray, and thank you so much for being a follower and a fan of our page. You can't believe how much all of your emails and all of your comments just makes us really joyful and touches us. We read every single one, and I try personally to respond to every single one as well. So that's enough love. And I wanted to get straight into the topic, and don't forget to ask any questions that you have. Lots of people on Instagram. Thank you everybody for joining us. Tobago Paradise, you're here, welcome. And I see that Ira575 joined as well. Thank you so much. And on Facebook, don't forget to press the love button so that, that I see that you are on with us as well. So I really wanted to talk about creating compelling content for your social streams. And you know, when you're writing for social media, whether you're doing it as you're a modern creative entrepreneur and you're doing it for yourself, you own your own business, you're writing social media for your organization, or you're writing it on behalf of your clients or whatever. You know, a lot of people who don't do it think that it is the easiest thing in the world, right? Don't you get that as well? That they think that you can just snap a picture, you can just write any content, and it's so easy, and it doesn't take much time. And we know, those of us who are in the trenches, we know that that is absolutely not true. And in fact, it is the complete opposite. Now, I have been writing all my life, and so writing comes easier to me than it may to you. And that's perfectly fine, because you will have talents that I don't have. But I know what it's like to want to bring your idea to the world, or want to be able to communicate, and you just can't find the right words, or you're struggling with something to say and you don't know how to be persuasive, and you don't know the language that you should use to really connect with the people, your fans and your followers, the people who you really want to touch with your content. So I really wanted to address that in 5 points that I jotted down on my iPad. And let's jump right into it, because I know I only have about 15 minutes with you. Now, one of the things that I want to encourage you, and it has nothing to do with writing, but everything to do with writing, and that is flipping the script. Now, when you believe that you are not a good writer, that you can't find the words, that it is boring, that it is a chore, and you don't like it, and you can find a million other things to do, guess what's going to happen? You're never going to find the words. It's almost as if a dragon is going to come up and blow fire into your ideas, and it's going to go up in flames. And that's called, you know what's that's called? That's called self-sabotage. And the process of sabotaging yourself just sucks. I think when you want to do something and you're hesitant, you have to flip the script, and you have to tell yourself, you have to actually change the internal narrative, and you have to tell yourself that you're good at writing, that you enjoy the process, that you can do it, that it is easy, that you can find the words. And I think by telling yourself that, it becomes the process of writing or articulating your ideas with the world or to the world becomes a whole lot easier. So when I was at the University of the West Indies, when I was an undergrad, I had this professor, his name was Dr. Keith Nurse, and he said to me one time, he said to the entire class, but it stuck with me and it stayed with me all my life. He said, if you change your perspective, you can change your possibilities. And I want you to think of that when it comes to writing. So change your perspective and your feelings about how you are not such a great writer, and it will change your possibilities, and you will be able more to engage with your inner self and be able to articulate your ideas to the world. And I hope that makes sense, because really, as I said before, it has nothing to do with writing, but everything to do with writing. Do you get did that make sense to you? So if it did, please let me know. And if you're there, please say hello. And don't forget, now is the time to ask any questions that you may have. I am happy to answer them as well, either live or after the Instagram Live or the Facebook Live. So the second tip I wanted to share with you is you have to know who you're writing for and what you want them to do. Let me repeat that. You have to know who you're writing for and what you want them to do, because that will determine the tone of your words and the tone by which you engage your audience. And let me just break that down for you right away by giving you a very concrete example. And I'll go back to what I know, which is my own brand, our own brand, Forward 40. So when we began Forward 40, we knew exactly who we were writing for. We were writing for not men, not children. We were writing for women above the age of 35. So we knew our audience. Females above the age of 35. And we knew what we wanted to communicate. We wanted to communicate that women, as they age, could grow more beautiful and more successful. So our tone was very inspiring. It was motivating. It was feminine, absolutely feminine, and it had a lot of soul and heart. And that was our tone. Now, it doesn't have to be your tone, but it fitted precisely with who we were speaking to and what we wanted them to feel. We wanted them to feel inspired. So our tone was soft and it was engaging. Now, as we enter the second phase of our business, it's all about creating Forward 40 as a sustainable brand. So yes, of course, we're always going to be creating content that connects with women, but we're also going to be selling stuff that we have produced, developed, and created. And our tone is going to be persuasive, factual, and informative as we encourage you to look at our products, to buy our products and our services, and to really support us in our endeavor to help you grow more successful in your own businesses, as well as to help us grow Forward 40 as a sustainable brand. So listen to this. On Forward 40, there will be 2 languages on our new website. One is going to be feminine, soulful, inspiring, motivating, and the other is going to be persuasive, factual, informative. So it's really important when you want to engage. It's really important to know who you're writing for. Who is your audience? Who comprises your followers? What do you want them to do? Do you want them to buy something from you? Do you want them to click through to your website or to your blog? Do you want them to be inspired? Do you want them to join Facebook? What do you want them to do? It's really, really important that you understand and you know exactly those 2 things, because that's going to help you decide on your tone, and your tone is actually going to help you become or be a better writer. And if you have any questions about that, please don't forget, I'm here to answer any that you may have. Now, the third point, my THs are so off this afternoon, so forgive me. But my number 3 point, so declutter. And I always think of what Coco Chanel said about style. You know, before you head out the door, Coco Chanel said, you have to look in the mirror and take away one thing. And that one thing will absolutely create a different style, and you will feel more beautiful as a woman. And I want to give you this example because it pertains to writing. And let me just put this back on Instagram. There you are. You off for a minute. So when it comes to writing, I always draw this reference to a party that I was at. And a woman entered, and she was like stunning and gorgeous. And she had on a black pumps and a jeans, slender, slim fitting, and a crisp white shirt and a belt. And that was it. That was it. That was all. And she was stunning. And another woman entered, and she was also quite beautiful. And she had on an ornate belt and jewelry and big, big earrings and bracelets all up to there and gold sandals and the works. And I always figured that if she took off 1 or 2 things, she would even be more beautiful. So think about your writing like that. When you write, how can you declutter your words? Again, it's real important to strip away everything. And let me tell you exactly what I mean by that. First of all, put everything down on paper. For those of you who see writing as a challenge and you've not yet flipped your script, you should be writing down all your thoughts on paper and then edit. Don't go writing a sentence, soups, like for those of you who are not from the Caribbean, that means being frustrated. So don't write a first paragraph or first line and soups and then toss it around, toss it out, and then think you're not good enough. Absolutely not. I mean, even I know that the first draft is going to be crap. It's going to be SHIT. It's going to be crap. So write the crap down. The magic happens in the editing phase. It happens in the second draft. And the real absolute magic happens in the fourth draft. So you really want to be able to keep it short, keep it simple if you're not a writer. Do it and say it in a sentence. If you say, I love flowers, and you have a great bunch of flowers like what's behind me, then you're a copywriter. And I want you to be able to know that you can keep it short and simple, use evocative language, declutter your sentences. So if you're saying you are, it's you're, right? I have Shant who is guiding me on this one. If you want to say we are, we're, right? All those things actually, what? Y'all. If you're in Texas, you, right? All those things really sort of gives you a cohesive, concise feel to your language by keeping it short, by contracting your words, and really using sometimes also not clever. If you are clever, like my content strategist, she is like superb with words. So Shanta will say, she will use references from pop culture to infuse some of our posts and some of our blog posts with a certain amount of dynamism and energy. And I love how she nails it every time. But if you don't know enough about pop culture or you're not gifted with words, then don't use it because it will sound contrived. Now, I know we have a couple of different groups here on watching this, right? If you're alone and you're a creative entrepreneur and you're doing everything yourself and you're a solopreneur, or you run a small business and you have a small number of employees, or you could be coming from the corporate side and you have a large number of employees, big office, big entranceway, everything, and you're thinking, shucks, I don't want to sound casual. I don't want to sound relaxed. I'm here to tell you, on social media, you have no other choice but to sound relaxed. It's not about you, and I think most of us do the opposite. Now, I know if you are a personal brand, because many times I use myself as an example to tell a story on the Forward 40 platform. So many of you have personal brands and you're using your personal brands to tell the story. And I want to say that's 100% okay. Don't go trying to change that. That's perfectly fine. Personal branding, that's the thing. But I want you to remember, as you tell your own stories, or as you take pictures of yourself, or as you take the selfie, or as you write a Facebook post about what you're doing, somewhere in all that personal branding, it has to refer back to the very people you are trying to engage with. That is a tip that's going to make a fundamental shift in the way you engage and the way people respond to your content. And that was my final tip, actually. So there you have it. Tell me below, did you find it useful, and what tip did you find would resonate with you and you're going to implement in your own social spaces? Now, I could talk about writing all day long, but I only had 15 minutes. So I wanted to do something, Shanta, that was like a little bit different. Probably you haven't read it before, and it's going to be helpful, and it's there are things that you can do right away and implement it in your social feeds. So excellent point on spotlighting. Thank you, Leo. That's VR Leonard. I really believe that it's really important to take the attention away from you and turn it back onto your customers. So a couple of things before I go. I want you to remember that this week and next week, they are going to be the last 2 weeks before we take a content break. Hey! So we're taking a content break because we are redoing our website. We're producing our first book. And it's not only an ebook, so it's a lot of work. What else are we doing, Chantal? We are doing our digital-based webisodes. So it's going to be our TV show designed for the web, which is fantastic. And we're looking, of course, we're going out to market for partnerships and advertising. So that's going to be amazing. We did a couple of episodes already, and all the 32 vignettes have been done. It is so amazing. We took our show up several notches, and I think you're going to be inspired and impressed and fun. It's going to be, I'm not going to say anything more. I just want you to see it. And then the fourth thing we're doing a photo bank based on Caribbean images, and more on that as we go along. So it's a lot of projects. So we're actually going to be working behind the scenes. And so you're going to see us, but it's going to be all content that we're repurposing on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. We need to do an episode on Twitter, I think, because not many of you are there, and it is such a fantastic platform. I love it. I've been there for many years. So I wanted you to be aware of that. So we have the most amazing original content on our blog, forward40.com this week and next, and then we take a content break. Don't forget to let me know what do you want me to talk about in our Monday digital moment. I am happy to take topics. And Chantal, what? What are we talking about next week? Oh my gosh. For our subscribers on our blog, I am writing a piece for this Sunday's newsletter called Why Did I Decide to Give My Successful PR Practice Up? And next week, Monday, Chantal just reminded me, I am going to be speaking about that because it's tied into knowing what your passion is and following your dream and being focused. Even at this age, being focused, laser focused on doing what you were meant to do in the world. Until next time, see you next Monday. Bye. Love you.